The whole world is discussing the arrest of Venezuela's president, Nicolás Maduro, and his wife. For years, they portrayed themselves as an untouchable elite. Now they are trying on prison uniforms in the United States. But this story has a continuation. It is about their children, who disappeared along with access to secret safes. While 3 of Cilia's sons went into hiding first, Maduro's biological son, whom people in Venezuela nicknamed the local Kim Jong-un, stayed behind, crying in front of cameras. But what fate awaits these golden children, and where are they hiding now? How did they manage to build enormous fortunes on starving people? And most importantly, where did these billions of dollars taken out of the country disappear? Today, we will tell you about the display of luxury enjoyed by the children of Venezuela's president against the backdrop of a severe national crisis. You have never seen anything like this before. For years, Maduro built his politics on hatred toward America. From every stage, he shouted, "Yankees, go home!" and blamed the United States for all of the country's problems. That was the official image shown on television. But in reality, while the father was loudly fighting Washington, his family was quietly transferring money there. In 2019, the FBI released the results of its investigation. The amount involved was enormous, $1.2 billion. With this money, the children of Venezuela's president bought up real estate in Miami, luxury apartments with ocean views, villas, and even stables. The heirs lived lavish lives, completely detached from the reality inside their country. And all of this happened deep inside the territory of the very enemy. Their father called on people to hate. Eventually, the properties and assets were seized. Villas, sports cars, and horses were sold at auction for the benefit of the American budget. They were banned from entering the United States, and all of their accounts were frozen. But this is only the tip of the iceberg, and not the most absurd part of this story. So, where did these billions come from? You will be shocked. This was not about oil trading, as many people assume. The true source of their wealth was far more unexpected and disturbing. Let us clarify the family structure right away. President Maduro has a son from a previous marriage, Nicolás Maduro Jr., known to the public as Nicolasito. The First Lady has 3 sons from her first marriage. In Venezuela, they are known with fear and contempt as Los Chamos, meaning street boys. There was a clear division of roles within this family. Let us start with the one who was always in the spotlight. That is Nicolasito, Maduro's only biological son. He was carefully promoted as a political heir. His father took him to rallies, gave him positions in parliament, and shaped him into a politician. His face is known to every Venezuelan. Some even call him the Kim Jong-un of the Caribbean because of his appearance and his father's attempts to pass power down by inheritance. He openly displayed his luxury lifestyle, drove gold-plated sports cars, and showcased his intense political activity on social media. One of the most striking moments was the wedding of a Syrian businessman at the Gran Melia Hotel. Nicolasito was the guest of honor. He danced to the music while guests around him threw dollars into the air. It was a literal rain of cash. This happened at the height of the crisis. People were fighting over flour in lines while bills completely disconnected from ordinary incomes lay at the feet of the president's son. One of the darkest episodes occurred in 2019 during a massive nationwide power outage. All of Venezuela was plunged into darkness for several days. In hospitals, lives were lost because life support machines shut down. Morgues stopped working. In that tragic moment, Nicolasito was hosting parties. Witnesses said that music was blasting inside his residence and the windows were glowing. Powerful industrial generators were running. While patients were dying in hospitals, the president's son had his own electricity and his own celebration. At one of these parties, a woman tried to take a photo of him on her phone. Security guards grabbed the device, erased everything, and threatened her with consequences. But even his behavior looked modest compared to Cilia's 3 sons. Los Chamos always stayed in the shadows. Their role was not to give speeches, but to control the family's most profitable financial flows. So where did they get millions of dollars from? The answer turned out to be far harsher than anyone could imagine. According to investigations, the money came not only from oil, but also from food shortages affecting the population. Cilia's sons appeared in materials linked to the state food program called CLAP. These were food boxes that were supposed to save poor families from hunger. Together with Colombian businessman Alex Saab, they purchased the cheapest food products in Mexico and Turkey, often of very poor quality. They then sold these goods to the state at premium prices. The difference, millions of dollars, was redirected to accounts outside the country. But even that was not enough. When oil prices fell, the family switched to gold. Los Chamos were linked to schemes involving the export of gold from illegal mining zones. Private jets packed with gold flew to Turkey and the Emirates and returned with suitcases filled with cash euros. The eldest brother Walter protected the family on the legal front. He received a position as a judge in the criminal court of Caracas when he was just over 20 years old, which raised serious questions in society. A young man with no real experience was deciding the fate of people who stood in the way of the family business. While the older brothers focused on making money, the youngest, Yosval, was responsible for outrageous spending. He was obsessed with speed and the sky. When ordinary entertainment bored him, he effectively used a state airfield for personal purposes. While the national airline was falling apart due to a lack of spare parts, Yosval turned this airfield into his private playground. He purchased the latest aircraft and hired foreign pilots. The airfield became a closed club where the Golden Boy and his friends parachuted for fun, while the country did not even have enough intercity buses. But Venezuela was not enough for them. Bills belonging to Yosval from the famous Ritz Hotel in Paris were leaked online. The charge for a single night was 40,000 euros. An average Venezuelan worker would need to work 200 years to pay for just one night for the son of the First Lady. This was not just luxury. It was a deep divide between power and the people. The contrast was horrifying. While the population was choking on food rations, Nicolás Maduro and his wife were dining in Dubai at a restaurant owned by celebrity chef Salt Bae. A video showing them eating steaks costing $1,000 spread across the world. Steaks for the president's family and expired food for the people. That was the real price of this care. And while the president's family tried on the lifestyle of Arab sheikhs, the country was literally melting away before everyone's eyes. A bitter term even appeared, the Maduro diet. Because of chronic undernourishment, the average person's body weight dropped by 11 kilograms. That was the price the people paid for the luxury of the ruling family. On top of that, ordinary villas were no longer enough for them. In an elite district of the capital, the children bought out an entire street. They took 14 luxury mansions in a row, forcing neighbors to leave. A concrete wall topped with barbed wire was built around the area, along with guard towers. It became a real forbidden city inside the capital. Behind those walls were garages for collectible Ferrari cars and gold-plated motorcycles. And this was happening in a country where there were no spare parts for buses or ambulances. But the appetites of these invisible princes demanded a global scale. So where are they now after the empire collapsed? Cilia's sons, the very same Los Chamos, disappeared first. Rumors suggest that they are most likely in Turkey or Russia. These are among the few countries that do not have extradition treaties with the United States. There, they can continue living in luxury without fearing that the FBI will come for them tomorrow. They are under sanctions, they are wanted, but they are still free. Nicolasito, however, stayed behind. Just 2 days after his father's collapse, he stepped onto the parliament podium and swore loyalty to the new authorities. It seems he wants to repeat the strategy of Bongbong Marcos, the son of a former Filipino dictator who fled the country. Years later, that son triumphantly returned to the presidential seat. History has shown that losing power does not always mean the end. For Nicolasito, this represents a potential opportunity for a political comeback in the future. But the story of the Maduro family is not over yet. The United States has frozen their accounts, although enormous sums are still hidden in safes. Will this money ever return to the people of Venezuela? Or will it remain in the accounts of these golden children? Time will tell. And what do you think about this family? Write in the comments, leave a like, and see you next time.